This is Josh Widdicombe. Good morning. How are you? Are you well, Neil?
Good morning.
Good morning. Yeah, there's the catchphrase. We'll come to that. Don't worry. This morning joined by Jack D. Not at this moment, who's definitely not on Danny Baker also. He's definitely just doing us, which is good of him.
Exclusive.
Exclusive. The things we're going to get out of him are, just moodiness, I imagine. But, so I'm very excited, but obviously you're here every week, so you should stay loyal to the people that are here every week rather than just following the stardust that is occasionally sprinkled on us. How are you?
Oh, I'm not too bad, thank you, Josh.
Good.
Got a sore thumb and finger, but...
Yeah?
Yeah, I touched something hot last night.
You touched something hot?
Yeah.
This all sounds quite euphemistic.
Sadly not.
Sadly not? No, what was it?
A wood-burning stove.
Oh, yeah, that would be hot.
Yeah.
Yeah, you've had a nightmare there. Why did you touch it, were you?
Just so tired.
So tired you thought I should touch that?
I thought that needs another log. Went to open it up and went, oh!
God, was that you're tired sitting around your wood burning? It feels like some kind of story from the Middle Ages. Or something from Dickens. So is that what your life is? Your life quite like kind of Dickens at the moment?
Yeah, pretty much. We've got a tin bath as well.
Yeah, good. How are you then? Good. That's good. Now, we should move on.
Mm-hmm.
How are you? Has been ticked off. I've dealt with that. We deal with that every week. We've gone into the wood-burning stove. Now, a couple of weeks ago, we had a situation where someone requested a shout-out of your catchphrase. If you'd like to do it again.
Good morning.
There it is. And then we've been deluged with requests of shout-outs. So we've built them up, haven't we? We've got a list.
Yeah,
you wanted to go through.
We've got a substantial amount.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like we're creating a massive rod for our own back here. What initially felt like an amusing one-off has now become, it's going to be about 45 minutes of you just saying good morning to people. But I feel we should, you've got to give the listener what they want.
Mm-hmm.
Would you like to do your shout-out? The floor is yours, Neil.
I will, but I don't want to just read people's names. So
No.
I was listening to late night radio in Reading, and I came across a pirate station, and all this guy did was read out names.
I love the idea that while you're in front of your wood-burning stove with your tin bath, you're also listening to late night radio.
So I just kind of
television exists.
Does it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. But yeah, I just thought I would kind of do it in a pirate radio style.
Okay.
So
I'm braced. I wasn't expecting this. To say this is out of character, but the floor is yours to do what you want with it.
Okay.
Do you want to go?
Let me get in my zone. Right.
Okay. For the listeners' home, he's just donned a bandana.
Okay, here we go. Shout outs, pirate radio style. Close to the mic. Can't hear it, so it distorts. 1, 2, 3. Year of the Fox. Cap Willinson. Easy. That's the joiner locked in. Low regards listening on the FM. Susan Cretney listening on the DAB. Tyler and James, hold tight. Schmee Photography. Shabba. Paul W. Doctor. Urban Crew. Stockton Aaron. Respect. Emily and Brighton. Easy.
I mean, that's the most urban thing I've ever heard.
Yeah. Yeah. Get on the right mic.
That's amazing. I mean, that was so... I felt really real, mate. It really hit me hard.
I could be on Rinse FM or something.
It felt like you must have been really affected by the deaths of Biggie and Tupac. I don't think any of those people complain that they didn't get a shout-out. We should... I mean, if you want a shout-out, are we still doing them? We should do them in a different style next time.
Okay.
I think you should do it in a local radio style next time.
Right, okay.
So in a couple of weeks, you'll be doing a string of local radio shout-outs. So we need to know what you're up to today, because it would sound something like, if you were to give an example.
On the way to a fete.
Yeah. So, you need to be on your way to something. Basically, you're always on your way to something, aren't you?
Yeah.
Or you're staying in to do something quite dreary.
Josh Widdicombe. XFM.
We now move on, Neil, to another new thing we've developed for the show, which is any other business. Basically, we've realised we've been getting texts and tweets on our number 0845546. What was it?
83936.
Yeah, I know. I was joking, Neil, but the good professionalism anyway. We've been getting that during the week, and we haven't really been able to follow it up, so we've created an Any Other Business section where we just go through any complaints people have from last week, ideally pedantic and grammar-based. So, you created a jingle for this as well, haven't you?
Yeah. Do you want to hear it?
More than anything in the world.
Previously, I'm
Josh Widdicombe.
Did you you spent so much time, producing the music for your shout-out section that you was that from 24?
Might have been, yeah.
Just the first bit, not the Josh Widdicombe bit.
previously, I'm
Josh Widdicombe.
You've never sounded so dulcet. Right, so what I thought we'd do, Neil, is I'll read them out and then you can either uphold the complaint or you can reject it.
Oh, like a judge.
Like a judge, yeah. Okay, number 1, Dominic Gardner. One for Any Other Business. Last Saturday, you were talking about exam invigilation. Rick Waller is now an exam invigilator. I don't know if that's a complaint. I mean, it's a good bit of trivia.
Yeah.
Are you having that?
Well, it meets the criteria because he's providing information on a previous subject on the show, so upheld.
Upheld, very good. We need a sound effect for that for next week. Don't just hit the equipment. Jacob Hutchinson. Freddie Flintoff was not stood at the urinal. He was standing at it in the same sense as how I wasn't played football.
Upheld.
Upheld, that's it. I mean, that's exactly the kind of thing we're looking for here, Neil. Now, we've got a couple of we've got one from my dad, which came in via text. I'd say the last 3 shows have been right on the money. I mean, you can uphold or reject that. I think reject it because it implies the previous 35 have been
I'm going to reject
off the money.
I'm going to reject that. Yeah.
Unlike right. Hi, Josh from producer Neil. This is from Kieran Gibson. This is a long one, so settle in, Neil. Thought I should get in contact regarding last week's podcast. I have a point to raise for the new AOB, open brackets, Any Other Business, close brackets feature. I say if you're using the abbreviation AOB to save time, don't then put the words Any Other Business in brackets. But I'm just getting picky. That's my Any Other Business for Kieran Gibson's next week's show. Josh, when you started giving out Neil's phone number, which I almost did again this morning by mistake, you suggested that it would take just 999 calls to definitely get through to Neil after leaving out the last 3 digits of his number. This is incorrect, as you have made the assumption that the only possible combinations you would use would be between 001 and 999. You have clearly not considered that 000 is also a possibility. And thus, there are actually 1,000 possible options, not 999. Kieran Gibson. Upheld. Although I would say 000 is not the answer. So each week I'm going to rule out an answer until if we carry on this show for another 5 years. And Kieran Gibson, I know that's more or less an area, but consider I take 2 weeks off a year, then that would be 10 years, 20 years we'd need to consider. Let's move on.
Yeah.
Dear Josh, you've started your new feature, Any Other Business, last week. Thank you. Correct. Upheld. Upheld. This is also the name of a feature on Radio 5 Live's Fighting Talk, which has been running longer than your show. Just thought you should know. Also, I've been on Fighting Talk since quite old. Callum Murray. Oh, one in Scott like you, Neil.
That's quite close to the former presenter of Fighting Talk as well.
It is quite close to the former presenter of Fighting. Do you think it is Colin Murray? I don't think he's still defending Fighting Talk.
No.
Yeah, I mean, Fighting Talk clashes with us. So let's not,
Well, I'm going to reject that from Callum, because you need to nail your colours to the mast. Are you listening to us or are you listening to Fighting Talk? Please listen to us. Yeah,
please listen to us. If you have chosen to listen to Fighting Talk, we are available on podcasts, so you can still listen to us during the week. But so that's rejected. Well, there we go. Few things got in, few things rejected. So bad luck, Callum. Well done, Kieran.
Josh Widdicombe podcast.
Blur to the end. We should say, Neil, that we have been building up to it for weeks. I did record Mastermind.
Celebrity
Mastermind on Monday. But I'm not allowed to discuss how it went.
Oh.
But John Humphreys was... I mean, to say that there was a spark between us is the understatement of a decade. I'm not saying that you're on thin ice, but if Humphreys can push buttons, I mean, there was a real chemistry going on there. So I think it's on at Christmas and we can discuss it then, but my subject was Blur. And I can say that I then Because you provided me with the email of Dave Rowntree, the drummer.
Yes.
I sent him the questions that I failed to get right, and he would have got complete marks.
That's good. Good for him.
Good for him. Yeah. So lesson: if you're going on Mastermind, just choose yourself. Now we are slightly later than usual because of any other business. 10:28, and we're throwing out the text topics. Two things to text or tweet in about 83938.
83936.
What has gone on there? I've known this for...
You had a late night. You were performing in Hull last night.
I was performing in Hull. When you say a late night, I'd like to make it clear that hugely professionally, I just slept in a car till 2 a.m. and then it was moving.
Yeah.
I wasn't just locked out. Now, here we go. Number one, we both came up with these when we went for a pint on Thursday, and we'll start with one where we can't remember why we came up with it. But at the time, it seemed like a very good topic.
Yeah.
It was gift horse regrets, which is, have you ever been given... There was something that had happened to one of us. We'd been given free tickets to something, and we didn't enjoy it. And that was it. And we were just thinking, anything where you've taken it because it's free and then hugely regretted it. Gift or tickets.
Experience,
anything that you thought, well, it's free, it might as well go, and then you got there and gone, that was the most stupid thing in the world. I wouldn't do this if you paid me. That's what it should be called. I wouldn't have done that if you'd paid me. But we'll call it gift horse regrets. 83936, nailed it. And at XFM, there we go. Hilarity, Neil. You should have seen the worry on your face when I'm getting quite good at that acting there. Maybe I should turn my hand to it. The other one, which we called "I wish I hadn't clicked reply all." Now this is we had a situation where there's a Christmas party for everyone in this build, everyone who's under the global radio umbrella.
Yep.
And we all got copied in on the email, and someone clicked reply all to everyone, and put, I should show my face for an hour. And you think, if you're going to reply all, you don't need... I mean, you've literally undone all the good work of showing your face for the hour now. They've got to turn up and be the life and soul of the party now. My friend was once living in a shared house, and three other people moved out, and then him and one of the other people moved on to their own house. And every year, that guy would... every January, his friend would go out and buy a new wardrobe of terrible clothes with his mum. And so my friend thought he'd email the other three and put, say, oh, he's just done his yearly shop. In honour of that, I'll do a top 5 countdown of the worst clothing items he's ever worn. And then one of his mates replied and copied the guy in.
Oh,
so that's the kind of thing we're looking for, isn't it? It's essentially, we'll accept copying someone in that you shouldn't have, or sending it to the wrong person, but we're really looking for, I wish I hadn't clicked reply all.
Josh Widdicombe. Podcast XFM.
And now we come to the highbrow section of the show, Neil, as we are joined by Matthew Crosby to take us through another celebrity autobiography. Good morning, Matthew.
Good morning, Josh. How are you this morning?
I'm very good. Now, who's...
Well, actually, I know how you are because we chatted while the song was playing.
I know. I mean, it's all a conceit. It's all a conceit. I mean...
It's tremendous artifice. Tremendous
It really
artifice.
is. I mean, we're pretending you're on the phone. You're actually in the room. Now,
I'm in the room on the phone to you. It's a real waste of my
3 minutes.
My pay-as-you-go.
Whose autobiography will you be reading from this morning?
Well, this week, as promised, we have Mel B, the autobiography, which is called... Do you know what it's called?
Well, let's have a guess. Neil, any thoughts?
I don't actually.
Is it called Melanie B, the true story? Warts and all? No.
No, it is called Melanie B, the autobiography, but it has a subtitle.
Oh yeah, hit me.
Catch a Fire.
Catch a
Now,
Fire.
I've got no idea why she's gone for Catch a Fire. Big fan of Bob Marley, presumably. What she's really done, it's actually a tremendous slapping to Martin of Fire, who wanted to call his Catch a Fire. It's a real shame. She got there first.
That's real.
He's had to be called Blaze of Glory.
That's really disappointing for him. So, does she talk about Eddie Murphy?
Murphy gets a cursory mention in the latter part of it. How do you not mention Murphy?
Exactly. So
I'm not going to read from that slightly bleak part of her life.
What will you be reading from then?
I'll be from the early days of the Spice Girls. I tell you what, there are people who just sort of typify their time so perfectly, and the Spice Girls are like. I mean, obviously, if you're our age, then the Spice Girls have a very fond sort of place in parts of both boys and girls of the 90s. There's a great photo. Obviously, I've spent quite a lot of the morning just looking at the photos. But there's a great photo. There's a great photo of them rehearsing in Mel B's mum's front room.
Oh, yes.
And Mel C is wearing an oversized sweater from the sweater shop.
Oh, yes.
So 90s. So 90s. Mel B is drinking a can of Skull. Oh! You couldn't be more of your time. There's one bit in the book, before I get to the bit I'm going to read you, there's a bit in the book where she talks about getting a tongue piercing, and this is genuinely true. I'll quote you word for word. She says, "Somebody stop me," I muttered to myself. In brackets, The Mask is my favourite film. She is so 90s. She's so 90s. Even writing a book in the 2000s, The Mask is still her favourite film.
So which section are you going to read from, Matthew?
I'm going to read from they were living in a house in Maidenhead, and they were basically getting the band together.
Okay.
And it's the exciting life that she had with Mel C and with Jerry. I'll read about those two bits. I shared a double bed with Mel C and slept on the right, nearest the door. Good to have some sort of idea of geographically where she is.
Do you think she was desperate to get to word count at that point?
Well, can I tell you, this book is 500 pages long. Oh! It doesn't need to be that long.
No.
It's a 500-pager. It also ends with her address. So if you want to write me a letter, here's my address. Bizarre. Anyway, sorry. I shared a double bed with Mel C and slept on the right nearest the door. Melanie snored very loudly because she had something wrong with her sinuses, again with the word count. Our room was really cool. It had light pink chipwood walls and red bedding. I put a red light bulb in the main socket, which made the room look like a brothel. Well, you know, that's it's not exactly what you'd see on, location. But anyway, she becomes best friends with Jerry. Jerry became my best friend. I found my friend for life, or so I thought. Spoiler alert, it all goes bad. Instinctively, I knew her down to a T, and she knew me just as well. And we had a very similar sense of humour. Ready for some top lols? Strap in. We even started going out in matching outfits. One Saturday, we went to Marks and Spencer in our pyjamas. Why? For a laugh, of course. As we were wandering around the racks of bras and pants, Jerry suddenly came to a standstill. She looked down at herself, raised her eyebrows to their highest point, and exclaimed dramatically, "Oh my God, I'm still in my pyjamas," as though she'd only just realised it. "Oh my God, so you are." My expression was pure shock. Then I looked down at myself and screeched, "So am I." And on it went.
Wow, what a life. What a life they led. I mean,
you wonder why the Spice Girls, the movie, wasn't as funny as it could have been.
Well, they used all their best material in Maidenhead. Thank you very much, Matthew. It's I will be writing to Noel B a very long letter with my feelings on messing around in TK Maxx.
Josh Widdicombe, XFM.
What an eccentric choice of ending they went for there on that song. That was Biffy Clyro, and we'll move on from, discussing how Biffy Clyro end their songs to the actual topics we're talking about today. That's a phone-in for another week. It's not phone-in, text-in. I mean, we're not actually going to put people on air.
Fax.
Too much of a gamble. Fax in. If you want to page us about Biffy Clyro, then you know the number. I'll just write to Mel B. Now, two things we want to talk about today, which we are talking about today, not that we want to, which we're damn well doing, mate. So, first is a subject we call I Wish I Hadn't Clicked Reply All. And we've got one from someone who remains nameless. Hi, Josh. A teacher at my school once sent a mail to all years, and a little 7-year-old called Emily replied back to the whole school saying, "Sorry to be stressy, but if you send me any of this spam email again, I'll be blocking you and tell Miss Wilkes." The teacher wasn't very happy, and she's forever known as Little Miss Stressy. They've signed that X, I presume that's a kiss, that's not her name. But, is the 7-year-old being ironic, or do they... How does an 11-year-old...
I have no idea.
What's happened there? Do you understand?
I get what's going on, but
yeah.
And clearly...
it's an astonishing response for an 11-year-old.
Yeah.
I mean, Emily's a precocious little...
Madam.
Yeah, good work. Stop producing there, Neil. Stop producing. I mean, that's the kind of thing exactly the kind of thing we're looking for. We didn't expect we'd get it from an 11-year-old, though. That's a new demographic for the things 11-year-olds shouldn't have said. Also, looking at gift horse in the mouth, not looking at gift horse regrets, which is presents, 3 things that you took up thinking how bad can it be, and then regretted. We just had one that just says, I once had a corporate box at Millwall. Which, you know, speaks for itself, really.
Josh Widdicombe.
XFM. Block Party on XFM. You heard me there just turning over paper as if I've got reams of notes. I'm joined now by Jack D.
I just put my headphones on because I feel more professional that way.
It does feel like you're part of something, doesn't it?
It's quite strange, actually. It's like being on an odd drug or something, that because your voice is slightly echoey when you do that.
Yeah, you can hear the kind of the lovely undertones that Neil's playing in as well.
Yeah. I don't want to be missing out on anything, so I know Neil does these things, and it's just part of the magic of being here.
It must be amazing to see Neil live at work.
I tell you, I've been so excited I could hardly sleep last night. I'm actually going to meet him, finally.
Does he live up to the...
Oh, and more. It's everything I dreamed of.
There you go, Neil. You can put that on your poster. You haven't got a poster.
Why would he have a poster?
Producer. Yeah, I mean, did you ever do any live appearances? No. No, oh, fair enough. Now, Jack, you're here. Well, you're here, obviously, because you're a fan of the medium of radio.
Yes, yeah.
By coincidence, you have a DVD out.
Well. Yes, I mean, that's just a byline, really. But, there is a DVD out of the show I've been touring, and it's called So What? And it's available during the gifting period.
Well, the gifting period starts tomorrow, doesn't it?
It starts on Monday, I think, is officially.
Monday's the gifting.
You know, obviously, Christmas is a very special time for me because I am an alcoholic.
Well, yeah, that's good.
You know, I like, you know, you're allowed to drink, you know, at 10 o'clock in the morning on Christmas Day, and no one gives it a second thought. As opposed to all the other days of the week.
Well, I mean, so if people would want to kind of intervene on this, maybe just buy my DVD instead of yours, so that there's no...
No, they could do that, yeah. They could. Oh, just probably 2 for the price of 1, isn't it?
It's a dime format.
I bought out a book a couple of years ago, and I actually stupidly thought, I'll show an interest and go and watch it being printed.
Yeah.
So they said, I'll come and see it being printed. So I watched it in this big sort of factory printing press place, and it starts as big toilet rolls of paper, no jokes, thanks. And then you go, and it goes through all these processes. It gets cut down and then turned into something that vaguely looks like a stack of sheets of paper, and then it turns into a book. And then the final machine it goes through, I said, what's that? It was this nice book with a cover on it and everything. It goes through this final machine. I said, what's that? And he said, they put the half price sticker before it even left.
When I worked in Waterstones, one Christmas, Jamie Oliver went to half price for 1 week, so they brought in 1,000 copies of his book, and I had to manually price them up.
Every single one of them?
Every single one of them.
Did you have your own pricing gun?
No, I was fingers.
Really?
Yeah,
I had to do it by hand.
Priceless finger.
I've worked in a supermarket, and I had a pricing gun. I was allowed to use it after a while. You know, you go to a range first of all and price a few things that doesn't matter if you get it wrong.
It's quite exciting, isn't the pricing gun? I don't think
it was a big moment for me because it's all barcodes now. It's not how it used to be.
Oh no, back in the day.
Back in the day.
I've because you've been on tour for a year now, maybe
over a year actually. This including the warm-up bit. I did just 2 years of it. Yeah,
2 years. You must be really bored of it by now.
I'm still loving it. I'm dreading it ending really because I've got to go back to my family and all that stuff. No.
Yeah, fair enough. I mean, I have met them.
Yeah,
they're very nice, Jack. They speak very highly of you.
I know they are, but you you can have too much of a good thing, can't you?
Yes,
I find.
Yeah, well, that's how I feel about Neil, really. Your tour manager, Tom, I texted him to ask him what life is like on the road, and he said that you basically just have a go at his sunglasses, his prescription sunglasses.
He bored me rigid about prescription sunglasses being the best thing he'd ever done. For the first 3 or 4 journeys we did together, I thought this is going to be a long tour. please stop talking about them. And I said to Tom, look, Tom, I don't care if they're special or not, you know.
No, you haven't spoken for a year. You just sit there in the car.
Well, we talk about other things, thankfully. He's moved on from that, we talk about other things now, yeah, basically. But the thing that's annoyed me is that at some level it affected me, the whole prescription sunglasses conversation, because I've now got them myself, and I find myself kind of promoting the idea to people who wear glasses.
Oh, well, that's good, you know. I'm glad it's made entertainment on the road. Tom must be delighted that his advice has made it.
There's that, and the other thing he does was, if anyone cut him up or displeased him in any small way on the road, he'd always say, "Oh, come on, there's a natural order of things." What do you mean there's a natural order of things? Is it the natural order in his book is that he should be allowed to do exactly what he wants, and no one should impede on that right.
Josh Widdicombe podcast. XFM.
Jake Bug, Taste It on XFM. This is Josh Widdicombe, still joined by Jack D.
Mm-hmm.
And Neil, producer Neil.
Good morning.
Would you like to do one of your trademark shout-outs to the D clan?
Good morning, Jack D family.
To the family, yeah, they're out there somewhere listening. Hello, everyone, my family. Can't remember their names now, but
you can remember the number.
Yeah, there are 4 of them, the kids, and then there's Jane, my wife. Yeah.
You got her name?
Yeah, I got her name now. I got that right. Yeah.
Just call her, and then she can call the kids.
It works very simply in that way.
Now we're talking about 2 things this morning. Number 1 is gift horse regrets. Have you ever received any free tickets to anything that you regretted?
I think almost everything I've had free tickets for, I've regretted going along to in the end, because, you know...
Thank you for coming to my show, though.
No, but I paid for those, Josh. I paid.
Oh, did you?
Yeah. I don't... because I asked for free tickets, and we have the same manager, Josh and I. And I said, can I get tickets to go and see Josh? He said, yeah, you can. And when I got there, I had to pay for them. So I rang him out. I said, what's this about? And he said, Josh isn't doing well at the moment. He needs the money. I can't be giving tickets out. You know, he's working for XFM. I said, I didn't realise that bad.
I've got to make ends meet. I'm T-boy here most of the week.
I was very impressed that you went off and got me a cup of tea. You said, do you want a cup of tea? And I said, yeah. And next thing, Josh had gone. He'd come back with a cup of tea for me.
You wouldn't get that with John Humphreys on the Today programme.
No, you don't do that. That's very nice, that was.
Yeah, well, you know, it's the little things, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
Keeps your feet on the ground.
Yeah, it does. Can I have another one?
Yeah.
Now.
The other thing we're talking about is if you which we called wish I hadn't pressed reply all.
Oh, I've had a few incidences with just sending stuff up. Social media is a nightmare. Do you know, I did Latitude last year, and my daughter and a couple of her friends came along and to that, and they were staying over, and Jane said to me, just keep an eye, make sure she's okay, and you see her the next day. So the next day I arranged to meet up with Hattie, my daughter. I took a photo of her coming up the road with her 2 mates, her 2 girlfriends, and all looking very bedraggled. So I took a photo of them, sent it to Jane with saying, "Look what I've just bumped in. Look what I've just picked up. Not bad considering." And I tweeted it instead. And I didn't realise what I'd done until I looked at my timeline. People saying, "That doesn't sound like you, Jack. Bit odd." You know, sort of teenage girls picking up teenage girls at Latitude. Thank goodness you can delete tweets.
Danny, who works as John Richardson's manager.
Yes, I know.
Was uploading a photo of his baby to Facebook and mistakenly uploaded it to John Richardson's fan page. Didn't see it, and there was just loads of comments going, I didn't know John had a baby. So he's had to adopt him.
Josh Widdicombe, XFM.
Graceless, the National on XFM. Went to see them on Thursday.
You said, yeah. I'm just learning about them. I think I'll probably go and buy the whole collection and then make out that I've known them all along.
I've been there. There's certain bands where it gets too big and you go, I just can't be bothered to get into this. But they're on the verge of having too many albums.
They are. What will happen is I'll be late to the party and then everyone will say, "What? You still like the National?" What's the matter with you?
Now, the topics we're discussing this morning, Jack. Would you? I'll give you the option. Would you prefer a tweet or twext? Is that the phrase? Well, let's have one of each. Let's go first with the gift horse regrets. I don't think this is that bad. I was given free tickets to a Boney M the musical. I still feel cheated for the 2 hours of my life this cost me.
Yeah, it's the thing where you get a free ticket and then you don't enjoy the show and you feel you can't even ask for your money back, and that is when you really feel robbed.
I didn't know there was a Boney M the musical.
I didn't know. I've never even heard those words together in the same sentence.
What, Boney M a musical?
Yeah.
Boney M are one of those bands where they've like surprisingly sold more singles than like almost anyone ever.
They've only had one in. I can only think of Babylon, Rivers of Babylon.
Rasputin.
That was that. Oh, Rasputin. Yeah.
And that really dreary Christmas song that's name escapes me.
Oh.
This has certainly turned into now just old people talking about music. I mean, XFM's lost its edge.
Yeah.
Now, I got an email, this is on, I wish I can click reply all. Got an email from a colleague saying, Colleague X is coming to regional, we'll give Colleague X a name. We'll call him Neil. Neil is coming to regional office to give a talk, please attend. I replied, God, do I have to listen to Neil bang on about how great he is for an hour? Can I say I'm washing my hair? Sent this to the entire company, including the board and Neil. Mortifying, Kate and Cardiff.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think she's helped the situation by then sending it to a national radio station.
I did one where a couple of years ago I had a bloke who was mowing my lawn, which sounds very lazy, but anyway, he was lazy actually. He was even lazier than I was. I mean, I didn't mow my lawn, but then I wasn't paying myself, and then he came along and still didn't mow it, and so in the end I asked him to leave, and he said he'd send the keys back, and he sent the keys back, and then I emailed him and said, thanks Steve, thanks for sending the keys back, and I sent it to the wrong Steve, and so Steve said, is this for me, or I don't understand what it's about? So then I said, no, sorry, it was wrong, it was my, and then I let loose a whole load of really abusive things about Steve, the gardener, and sent it to both of them. Having gone to the trouble of saying to Steve in the first place, you know what, it's been great, but I feel I want to get to know my mower again.
So did he reply?
No, I've never heard from him since. I mean, I think that's probably the dignified way to resolve that, other than come around and kill me with an axe or something.
Or a mower.
Yeah, or a mower. Yeah.
Josh Widdicombe. Podcast XFM.
We now come to the end, Jack, of your period here. Have you enjoyed yourself?
Yeah, I've had a whale of a time. Everyone's been so nice. It's been lovely to see how it all works and how you put the show together. Really,
it's a real professional outfit.
I didn't realise so much work went into it.
No, you have one more thing Neil wants to tell you before you go.
Yeah.
Well, I'm a little upset, Jack, because my wife confessed something to me last night.
Oh, go on.
And that is, she's had a major crush on you for quite some time.
Really?
But it's more the reason.
Yeah.
Because
is she at home now?
She is at home. I think she's probably listening as well. This crush developed when she was pregnant.
Really?
Yeah. And at the time we were
not paying maintenance. if that's where this is going.
No, at the time we were living in Birmingham, so I was getting a train from London to Birmingham every day, so I wasn't really seeing her. And I think it was when you did the Comic Relief River.
Oh, at the beginning of the year, yeah.
And you really kind of cemented yourself in her heart when she saw you put up a tent.
Really?
Because it meant you could provide for her.
So who is your wife? What is she? Is she a homeless person or something?
No, she's called Alex, and she now has a house that I need to go home and do some work on this afternoon.
Clearly, or at least put a tent up for her. Right? She's not happy. It's obvious, isn't it?
But yeah, so
yeah, there you go.
So it's been a pleasure to meet you. But
the baby has now been born, and
it's 5.5 weeks.
Congratulations.
Thanks.
I mean, Neil,
you sound thrilled and excited.
Well, you thought Josh was tired. I'm very tired as well.
Good stuff. Well, say hello to your wife anyway. It's nice.
I mean, we've left it on an awkward note.
Yeah. I was just going to say I won't be buying a DVD because it was ram it home every day.
It didn't have to be awkward, but Neil turned it into. He just couldn't contain that little bit of
venom.
Yeah.
There you go. Thank you for coming in, Jack.
I've loved being here until the last few minutes when I fear for my life.
The DVD So What is out on Monday.
It is, yeah.
November the 18th.
Yeah, it is, yeah.
Anything else you want to plug?
No, that's it. I just think that you've got one coming out of you.
Oh yeah, well you are on it.
I don't want to. Yeah, I am. Yes, of course. I did an impression of you, didn't I?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
have you seen it?
Yes. I was. It's quite mean-spirited about my height.
I don't think it was. We're about the same height, you and I.
Yeah. We used to describe him as
well,
4'6".
Well, maybe I did, but, you know, I've had it all my life. Why shouldn't someone else?
Yeah. It's funny how quickly the bullied becomes the bully.
Oh, very. As soon as you get the opportunity.
Pass it on. Thank you for coming in.
Thank you.
It's a great DVD, so, you know,
Thank you,
people
mate.
will buy it.
Yeah,
and I'm
hopefully.
sure, you know, have fun at your son's rugby match.
I will do, yeah, go off there now.
Good.
Josh Widdicombe, XFM.
I feel I need to make an apology, Neil.
Okay.
Now, last week I may have got slightly out of hand when I decided I may have got angry at the fact Arcade Fire's double album was slightly too long in my view. So, in the spirit of comedians writing open letters, I've written an open letter to Arcade Fire. I feel I should read it now. Do you think that's...
Yes.
Yeah, that's an acceptable thing to do on XFM, isn't it? Dear Win Butler, Win Butler's wife, Win Butler's brother, and the tall ginger one, and all the rest of Arcade Fire. I would like to apologise for last week suggesting that your new album Reflector runs slightly long at 75 minutes. While that is still a long time and a large chunk of my day, I now admit that a lot of these songs are good. And while it is still annoying that as a double album it stops playing halfway through on Spotify as it thinks they are two different albums, I probably shouldn't be listening to it on Spotify anyway, poor form. David Byrne and Tom York would have my guts for garters if they were listening. Anyway, hope you're keeping well. We should catch up soon, Josh. P.S. Hope you're listening, as I don't actually have your address, so I won't be able to send this. I went to see them this week, and it was brilliant, so I felt bad that I'd... You know, when you sometimes it takes seeing a band live to get into the new album, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, we should play some Arcade Fire as way of apology. But it is too long.
Josh Widdicombe.
Queens of the Stone Age on XFM, and we are now joined on the Josh Widdicombe Show for the final hour, as always, by Mr. James Acastor.
Really like the ending to that song.
Do you?
Yeah.
It's just the
really rock
thunders.
out. You think it's finished, and then it goes, no, it hasn't finished, it is rocking till the end. Right to the end.
I mean, it's better than what you just did there.
What? That's what it does. That's exactly what happens, right?
Yeah, well, that is exactly. How are you, James?
Good, thanks, mate, yeah.
Yeah? Any news?
Not really.
No?
Just, you know, been maxing out. Maxing out? Is that a word?
Yeah, it is. Well, you're pretty urban, Neil. Could you confirm if that's a word?
Maxing out, isn't that used in the title of The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air?
That's what I was thinking there, actually. I think I was... He says chilling out, maxing, so maybe I was getting chilling out and maxing out. I think is more what the
You know
do.
the lyrics, don't you, to the verse of The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air that is often not kept on the...
Oh, I don't know the lyrics to that.
Oh, do you not?
No, but he's on a plane, he's got a drink. It's very confusing.
Sure, James doesn't want to have a stab at it.
It says drinking champagne out of a champagne glass, I think, at one point. He actually
I mean,
says...
I'm not sure that's a good enough lyric, is it? If you are at home and you know the lyrics... Well, to make it clear, what this is on The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, occasionally, like, the episode would obviously be shorter than it should have been or something. So there's, like, a rogue third verse that they'd edit into the title sequence. Very occasionally, though, wasn't it?
Every now and again, and you go, oh, we're in for one of the poorer episodes now, because he's on a plane drinking some champagne out of a champagne glass.
He's not been maxing for ages.
Yeah, it's warning signs.
Well, that's good.
I was going to say, Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, you like trivia.
Yeah.
You know Uncle Phil?
Yeah.
He was the voice of Shredder in the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles cartoon.
That's a very good bit of trivia. How do you feel about that, James? You're looking at...
Sorry, my friend Joe's just texted me saying, chilling out, max, and relaxing, not maxing.
Ah!
So there you go.
There you go.
Someone's got nothing better to do this Saturday afternoon.
So, does that mean they're chilling out to a maximum level?
Chilling out, max. Yeah, so he's chilling out to a maximum level and he's relaxing.
You probably don't need to do both.
No one's ever maxed, probably. I mean, you know, I feel like a fool for saying it now.
If you are at home and you're maxing, send in your pictures of yourselves maxing. Not if it's a rude thing. What we don't want is an awkward situation like that on our hands. But yes, so well, I'm quite looking forward to see if anyone knows that verse. Don't Google it. Don't cheat.
No,
but
have a stab at what you think it would
or
be.
what you think it should be.
Yeah, write your own.
Write your own verse. It's to go between which bits?
It's when he's left West Philadelphia, and he's on his way to Bel-Air. It's before he gets in the cab. Everything that happens to him, between his mum saying you're going to move with your auntie and uncle in Bel-Air, to him saying I whistled for a cab and then it came near. Everything before that was swinging up.
Yeah, because actually, with the verse edited out, it does imply that he had the wealth to get a taxi from Philadelphia on the east coast of America.
All the way to Bel-Air.
All the way to Bel-Air on the west coast. I mean, that would have been...
Well, with a taxi driver who... He says smells. I mean, he's not complimentary at all about that guy.
Well, if you're driving someone the whole way down Route 66, then of course. I mean, I reckon he's looking at upwards of $10,000 for that taxi journey.
Obviously, you know, he knows what he's going to do. He's going to get to the mansion. It's all on Uncle Phil in Colton. They're going to be paying for that taxi.
Yeah, I wonder whether they stopped in motels. Maybe we're going too deeply into it, but. I mean, in that situation, I wonder if you'd agree a flat fee with the taxi driver, or whether you'd just put it on the clock.
I'd do it ahead. I'd go, look, how much would it cost me to get to Bel-Air? It's a long story. A couple of guys who were up to no good started making trouble in my neighbourhood, and now I need to get a cab.
I heard, we'll go to success. I'll just tell you this amazing cab story that I heard. There was a member of, I won't say who it was, there was a member of a band, and they were on tour around Europe, and they were somewhere like they were in Munich or whatever. And it was 3 a.m. and they were really drunk. So they just couldn't speak the language, got in a cab and just showed the guy, he's like, this is my hotel, showed him his key card. The driver's like, I'm not taking it. He's like, just take me to this hotel. And it was the key card from the night before when he was in Amsterdam.
Josh Widdicombe. Podcast. XFM.
This is Josh Widdicombe with James Acaster.
Hello.
Producer Neil.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. There it is, the catchphrase. With a slight twist. Now, we've had some tweets about the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Rightfully so.
Rightfully so. We went off on a tangent. We seem to have created... Now, I should name some people that got this right. Tuna Sardines. and Dan Perkins is... I mean... No, that's not one that got it right. That's just a completely different thing. It's just somebody wanted a shout-out from Neil, so note that down, Neil. Now... Here we go. Someone's tweeted in that they're chilling in a bath. Anyway, let's move on. Cheryl, S-H-E-R-R-E-L-L-E.
Carl.
Right, Carl has tweeted in. This is the lyrics to the middle verse of the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air's song that's usually not in the title sequence. If you haven't been listening, that came up and we thought we'd run with it. First class, oh, this is bad. Drinking orange juice out of a champagne glass. Is this what people of Bel-Air are living like? This might be alright.
That sounds... that is correct.
Is that correct?
Orange juice as well.
Yeah.
Someone should have told him he could have had champagne.
I suppose he was under 21, was he?
Yeah.
Yeah, he probably was. But then... I don't know why he thinks that orange juice out of a champagne glass is the best thing ever.
No.
I'm drinking it out of a champagne glass. Yeah, but, well, it's orange juice.
Yeah, well, you'd get more if you just put it in a normal tumbler.
Look at this. It's what I've always talked about on the b-ball court. No one listened to me.
I mean, I still like the idea that you got the taxi. We've also got another Fresh Prince-based tweet. Ben from Bracknell. On YouTube, there is a pretty good mashup of the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, and Rick Astley's Never Gonna Give You Up.
Brilliant.
So we all know exactly what I'm doing what we're all doing as soon as we get home.
Yep, you're going to a karaoke bar and you're asking for Rick Astley and you're singing Fresh Prince over the top of it. You always go the long way around things, Josh. It's very strange.
Josh Widdicombe. XFM.
It's Josh Widdicombe here. But
Hello, mate.
I am handing over the reins for your classic scrape.
Thank you very much, Josh. This is a archive one, yes. And I believe I may have briefly told you this once before, but you don't know the whole story.
Oh yes.
So I once did a skydive.
Neil's already on board.
Oh yes. Already liking this, Neil. I decided that I need to do more adrenaline-fueled things in my life, so I saw a poster advertising for charity skydive jumps.
Why did you make that decision?
I had a boring life at the time. I was working on the band. And had a part-time job in a kitchen.
Yeah.
And
how long was your part-time job in a kitchen?
I did that for 17 to 23, 6 years.
17 to 23, 6 years. All right, sorry.
6 years, yeah. From the ages of 17
You
to
weren't
23.
good enough to ever turn pro.
I didn't want to, mate.
Oh, right.
I was going to be a world-class musician.
Oh, yeah. Well, keep dreaming.
I'm not there yet, but you have to become a comedian first, I think.
Yeah,
eventually become that.
Of course.
But I got all my sponsorship for the skydives all done.
Who are you skydiving for?
Age concern. That was my only option.
Why?
It was the poster was like,
I see.
you have to do it for age concern.
Yeah.
So
you've always been concerned about?
I tell you what, it's hard to get sponsorship for age concern. No one cares.
No one's concerned.
Yeah, everyone's going, what's your problem? What do you mean age concern? You go, well, yeah, they're old. Yeah. Yeah, well,
Let me just say, it's a totally worthwhile charity, but that name doesn't make it sound as
No, concern.
They should have a word with their PR. Age nightmares. That's what they should.
Age crisis.
Age crisis.
If I was collecting for age crisis, I would have got so much money. I don't even have to do the skydive. Just take it, mate. They need it.
Slightly worried about age. Just slightly concerned. You're right, Steve. Just slightly concerned about aging.
Concerned.
Do you want to turn that? Yeah, all right, yeah, that'll make it better.
I'm also collecting for knee concerned. Concerned about my knees, other people's knees.
Yeah, I've also got a bit of a quibble about my elbow.
Are you collecting for elbow quibbles? Yeah.
Anyway.
So I collected all the money. Went to the skydive centre.
Yeah.
And they train you up and stuff. I was all ready for it.
Train?
They train you up.
Oh, I thought you said chain.
They chain you up. You're not backing out, mate. How concerned are you?
Now you're concerned.
Just pushing you up. No, they train you.
Yeah.
And so you get attached to your skydiving instructor. So I'm on the front. He's wearing me on the front like a reverse backpack.
Yep.
All of us get all the age concerners, all the people concerned about age, and the skydive instructors.
Were you the youngest?
I was the youngest one, yeah, I was. Yeah. I mean, everyone else was more concerned than I was. They were closer to it. We all got the plane, flew up, and the first guy looked out the hatch and went, too cloudy. Landed it. Too cloudy.
Was this one of the concerners or one of the trainers?
One of the proper professional skydivers. Too cloudy. Which I don't understand the too cloudy
concern?
thing. I've got a bit of cloud concern, guys. Can you all sponsor me? I understand it because I was like, well, you should have known it was cloudy from the ground. Why we had to fly up here to discover that it was cloudy? And also, I didn't think that wasn't it. Like, we've flown up here when it's cloudy. Surely that's the risky part. When we jump, we'll overtake the cloud.
He hates it cloudy. You never get that guy a lemonade in Victorian England. Otherwise,
cloudy, I'm not drinking it. Forget it. So we landed the plane. I had to go back the next week. Following week, same thing again, got in, went up. Same guy, too cloudy. I was like, right, let's check this guy's eyesight. He's got.
Did it look particularly cloudy?
Oh, I don't know. I thought, I can see what you mean. There's some cloud here, but we're in the sky. I expected it.
When I'm in a plane, it's always cloudy.
Yeah, solid cloud.
Solid cloud,
It's where the cloud is.
Don't go in the sky if you want to avoid the clouds.
It's a little bit cloudy. Yeah, it's a little bit grassy down there on the ground as well. Worst observationalist ever. Landed it again. Third time, got in the plane, went up. First guy jumps out. By the time it's my turn, he's messed up his landing, injured his back.
Oh no! Oh no!
And he's sprawled out on the landing thing, and none of us are allowed to jump anymore. So the plane.
They'd established that jumping out of a plane might be a bit dangerous.
Yeah, I said, actually, there's no second thoughts. This is ridiculous. What were we thinking? Think about your health. I mean, you guys are concerned about age. You're not going to make it that far if you keep doing stuff like this. But so we couldn't land because he was on the landing spot. So the plane had to go land somewhere else, get out. We had to wait for the ambulance.
It would have been disastrous if he'd been there waiting for an ambulance and then you'd landed on him. That would have really rubbed something away.
Sorry, mate, it was so cloudy we couldn't see you. So I had to, and then they said, when he's picked up by the ambulance, we can probably do the jump. So we're waiting for ages, and the ambulance just took so long to get there.
Was it an air ambulance?
Yeah, it was. They were like, too cloudy, we can't make it. So then the fourth time I went, was so...
Was this 4 weekends in a row?
4 weekends in a row.
Fuming.
Yeah, but the first time I'd gone up, I was really nervous.
I thought the plane was fuming, but...
The first time I went up, really nervous, and then got cancelled. Second time, a little bit less nervous. Each time, a little bit less nervous. The fourth time, I didn't care.
Old hand.
I was like, we're not doing this.
Was the
I know
guy
the drill.
okay?
He was fine. He's absolutely fine, that guy. We raised some money for back concern, and he's absolutely fine. So I was like, this isn't going to happen. It always gets cancelled, I don't care. So in the plane, I was the most relaxed person ever.
Yeah.
And then it happened. So I was completely not ready. I was just there, quite chilled out, and then the guy just stands up. Because you're attached to him, you got no control. He just walks you to the door and jumps out.
Oh, my word. So were you just being dragged along?
Well, you have to lift your feet.
You were wearing him like are you in the front or the back?
I'm on the front, so he's like a backpack, but he's taller than me. So I just took my feet off the ground, and he just walks with you. And you cross your arms in front of your chest, and you got to look at the ceiling. So you're not even looking out the plane. So you don't know yet if you're at the door. It gets a little bit windy, and then suddenly
I can't even think about it.
all of your vision just goes, and then you can see the ground, and you're flying through the air. Now that bit was amazing. But and he was lovely. This guy, I've met him 4 weekends in a row. Really moody, quiet guy. Just didn't say anything. As soon as we jumped out the plane, he was like a different person. It was like he transformed. It's like he lived in the skies.
Yeah.
So as soon as we jumped out,
like when you get on the airwaves.
Yeah, exactly like when I'm on the airwaves, spitting my scrapes. So he was just there like, whoa, yeah, really shouting in my ear and going, hey James, how do you like free fall? And I was like, yes, very nice. And he was like, ah. And then he pulled the cord for the parachute.
Yeah.
And then my stomach just like almost soared about 6 feet above my head, back into my stomach, 6 feet the other way. And then he started zigzagging around the skies, going, check this out. And I felt really ill. So I said, sorry mate, we're gonna have to stop this. And so he got really gutted. Because then I spoiled his favourite thing. So then we were just drifting down, motionless, while he was in my ear just going... just constantly. And then I realised, back then I used to exclusively wear slip-ons. Which wasn't a good idea. And I realised that
Exclusive? How many did you have?
I just had like about 3 pairs of slip-ons. I'd have a rotation. And I realised that one of them was doing the opposite of what it's meant to do, and slipping off.
Oh my word. How high up? We
were still probably...
Did you see the ground?
I can see the ground, yeah.
You're not in the clouds?
Yeah, the clouds had got... I mean, there's no clouds that day, and that's how we got to do the jump. But, yeah, I can see the ground, but we're still thousands of feet. So, like, I had to hook my toes up and keep the slip-on on. Oh. Because I didn't want it to fall and, like, kill a cow or something in the field.
No.
And then,
concern.
I kept on, like, I felt like I was going to be sick. And on the landing, you're supposed to land together. He's supposed to pull these, the steering handles, and then you both, like, almost do a little jump and then land. But I was so ill, I couldn't do it. So he was like, got to do an emergency landing.
Emergency?
Emergency landing.
What's the emergency?
He leans back, and he leans back and he skids in on his bum. That's what he has to do. But before he did it, was just everyone else was on the floor. He just started shouting down to them, "Make way! We got a sleeper! We got a sleeper here!"
Amazing.
He skids in, and my mum bought the photo, which is of me and him laying on the ground, and it's me on top of him, just looking absolutely passed out, and him literally looking over at his skydiver mates, holding his hands in the air, with his faceless expression of, "Always me. Why is it always me?"
Brilliant. That's amazing. I can't believe you did a skydive. Yeah. How much money did you raise?
I can't remember, actually. I can't not remember how much money I raised.
But you didn't do it for that?
I did do it for that. I did it for the concern.
Well, that's good. At least you didn't kill a cow.
Yeah.
Or, get stuck in a cloud. That's what happens. You just slowly come to a halt.
They jump out the plane and just... straight, like, full 1 foot, and then, I'm on a cloud. There's an angel playing a harp. Hey! You guys aren't meant to do it when the weather's like this.
Josh Widdicombe, XFM.
The Killers on XFM, and now that brings us to the end, more or less, of the Josh Widdicombe show. We should plug, as a way, Jack D, who was on earlier, has a DVD out called So What tomorrow.
It's Monday.
I keep thinking it's Sunday. I mean, you can pre-order it tomorrow.
Yeah.
Or, occasionally HMV, they'll like put the DVDs out early by mistake, so fingers crossed that you might be able to find one. Neil, anything to promote?
I'll probably be in B&Q later, getting some light bulbs.
Lovely.
Exciting.
Sinead O'Connor. a B&Q tattooed on her face this week. Yeah.
What?
What? Yeah, Sinead O'Connor has had the letters B&Q tattooed on her cheeks.
Why?
After her ex-boyfriend, Bradley Quinlan.
Blimey, her ex-boyfriend?
Yeah, ex-boyfriend.
That's a way to move on, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
What's he think of it?
I don't know, I haven't got a clue what he thinks, but, that is, I thought everyone knew this. I didn't think this was, I think this was new, this is going to be new news to you guys.
She's a fan of B&Q? Or
no,
barbecues?
it's not the, it's because she loves having barbecues. She has another bee on her nose.
So wow, that's hit me hard. I wish I'd known this 3 hours ago. We'd built the show around it. And James, do you have any promotion you'd like to do?
Yes, Josh. My tour continues. There's just a few dates left now. On the 22nd, I'll be in Stockton at the Arc. And then next week, I'm in Exeter, Birmingham, and finishing in Kettering.
Of course, homecoming gig.
All those dates are on jamesacaster.com. Also, on the 24th, I'm doing a charity gig at the Bloomsbury for the people of the Philippines, and that's got it's a brilliant lineup. John Bishop's on, and Stuart Lee, and loads of people. And it's called Laughter After Disaster. And you can find out about that online.
Yep. Google it.
Yeah. Google it.
My promotion. No. Melksham Friday. Just going through my week.
Melksham?
Melksham. And Saturday Melton Mowbray, where the pies.
Yep, pork pies.
And Sunday I'm going to my first ever Jewish wedding, so that's exciting. So what a weekend that is going to be for me. And finally, my DVD is out on Monday. Please buy it. Please buy it.
If only for the extras.
If only for the extras, which features... The best bit may not be the show, maybe the fact there's an extra feature where lots of comedians do their impressions of me, including both the comedians we've had on today.
Yours truly.
Yeah, and, various ones. One was shot in the XFM studio, Tom Crane, which was probably the worst one.
Yeah,
I hope he's
predictably.
Listening. Predictably bad. Predictably poor from Tom Crane, but it's available in all good records. They say, HMV. MVC, I'm imagine it's available in.
Yeah.
Dixon's. All the big ones. So, buy it, please.
Josh Widdicombe. XFM.